Well, good morning and welcome to Move Early, Move Often. It is Wobbly Wednesday. I am Blake Martin. Yeah, Wobbly Wednesdays. We focus on core strength and balance, things that impact our ability to move our limbs and our torsos independently. So this morning is kind of it's another day with Corey Blasterson, and we're gonna blast your core. So we're going to be doing 4 activities that will focus on strength of muscles that are related to your abdominals area. And I'll give you a demonstration of those activities. Then we will do a little bit of a warm up, and then we'll get right into it. Today I'm pushing the durations of the activities a little bit. And so if you find for you that it's a little too long, take a rest. That's the whole idea. You're supposed to do what's good for you. And when you need to rest, you do it. You can come back to this. You can look this up on YouTube and come back to this later on and try it again and see if you can go a little bit longer next time. So with that in mind, let's get right to it. We're going to start off with a plank, and for depending on where you're at in your plankness, you can do a high plank. So that's here. I'll just tuck in my shirt so it doesn't look like I'm sinking in too much. So the high plank is hands are under your shoulders, your spine is long. Watch that your hips don't sink through. You can do a kneeling plank high, or you can do an elbow plank. All right. This is probably going to be pretty good for us today, the elbow plank, just because we're doing longer durations. And so you'll just be holding that. And we're going to be going for 35-second holds. Then we're going to move to a second activity. Second activity is knees up crunches. So you'll be on your back, and your back is mostly flat. There's a tiny little space here. You don't want to completely flatten it, and you certainly don't want an arch. So it's a little less than neutral, and your knees are up. And this takes your hip flexors out of the equations when we do the crunches. Fingers are near the head so that you're not using momentum to get up, and you're not also pulling your head up. Your torso and your neck and your head should all be in a line. So you don't come very high, but you'll feel that your core is engaging here, your rectus abdominis muscles, they're engaging in particular. All right, so that's exercise, the second exercise, number 2. Exercise number 3 is a side plank. And again, we can do high side plank. So we're up like this, and that's a little more challenging for the shoulder and shoulder girdle. There's a little more activity there, but it really doesn't add anything very much to the amount of force that you need for the hips. All right. So you can also do the elbow version of the side plank, and you can do a knee version. So the knee version is one knee down, but you've got to keep the hip up. So that's the objective there. All right. We're doing that left and right. So 4 activities: plank, knees raised crunch, and left and right side plank. So coming into the space, we're going to start our warm up now. I should turn up my volume a little bit so you can hear what I'm doing. Hear my little timer going. Coming into the space, and I don't need my shirt tucked in anymore. And let's cat and cow. So just in a quadruped position, sink your belly down through. We're going to cat, exhale, let your head round over. Cow, looking outward. Exhale as you cat. Inhale as you look out, cow. Let's do 2 more of those. And let's wag our tails so your hips and your head move to one side. And I bring my toes over too, just so I can exaggerate that hip movement. And we're just going back and forth. Hip movement and head movement. And we're just activating the muscles of the oblique muscles, lateral flexors. Press back into puppy dog pose, and then rock forward to upward facing dog ish. This isn't really an upward facing dog, but it's close enough. Back again and forward. And we can come to this upward facing dog pose as our beginning. And let's get into our plank. First plank, long spine. Just hold it. Draw your elbows in towards your hips. If you need to rest your knee down at any point, we're going to be doing this 4 times. So 4 times 40 seconds, and you may need to take a break at some point. And that's completely cool. So
3, 2, 1, rest.
Great. And have 10 seconds of rest, just a little upward dog
3,
here.
2.
Come into the right side plank. So in your side plank, make sure that your spine is in a straight line. Your skull, the top of your spine, your neck should be aligned so that your head, the crown of your head is reaching away from your toes. Your hips are being held up. Be careful not to over-contract the top quad. For some reason, it seems to want to be really tight when you do this, or at least it does on me.
3, 2, 1, rest.
All right, opposite side. So I don't turn my back to you, I'm just going to go to the other end of the mat.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 3.
And for now, I'm doing the modest version of it. I don't know. Will I be able to get through doing modest version the whole way? I hope so. Again, being really conscientious of how long your spine is. Press your heels down. Your heels should be pressing away from your head. Keep that hip elevated. Keep the hip elevated. Don't
3,
let it sink.
2, 1, rest.
All right. And getting ready. We're going to do our knees up.
3,
Crunches.
2, 1.
Fingers by the side of the head.
Exercise 4.
Lifting the shoulders and the head all in one line. Not forcing it. Slow, controlled movements. So your spine is aligned. Your head is on the center line of your body. And really try to get those shoulders off the mat. That's what we're really trying to do.
3, 2, 1, rest.
Nice. And flip over onto your belly and you do just a little upward dog. Before
3,
we get into our
2,
plank.
1.
Plank
Exercise
2.
1.
Let's go. Get those heels extended out and away from your body. Crown of your head pulling away from your feet. Spine is long. Hips are not sinking in. If you need to bring it to your knees, then you just do that. No loss, no harm, no foul. You're trying to just kind of gradually increase the amount of work that you're able to do. It's not a competition between anybody but you
3,
and the
2,
clock.
1, rest.
All right. Coming into a right side plank. I think I can do it today, so I'm going to go up onto my high plank.
Exercise 2.
High plank just takes a little more stability in the shoulder joint and shoulder girdle. So be really sure to just kind of hold that in there. Have the sense that your shoulder girdle is being drawn down and sticking close to your body. Don't over clench your quads.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
And opposite side. All right, get set up.
3,
4 seconds.
2, 1.
I lied.
Exercise 3.
So if you're doing the elbow version, really make sure that you're held underneath. You should really feel a strong holding in through your obliques. And both internal and external obliques are activated for this. And your quadratus lumborum, some of your other lateral flexors.
Three, 2, 1. Rest.
Beautiful. Coming over onto your back, getting ready for knees up, crunches.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 4.
Hands near the side of your ears, but not grasping them. Don't pull your ears off here. Shoulders and head come off the mat in a line. All the way down. Conscientious, you don't want to have your back in a curve, but you don't want to have it, you don't want to round it in the other direction either. So it's pretty close to flat on the floor in the low back and the lumbar spine.
2, 1. Rest.
And coming around, getting ready for our next round of
3,
plank.
2, 1. Exercise.
You guys are doing great. Okay, get your spine really long. Maybe walk your toes a little further away. And just press your heels and the crown of your head away from one another. Be really nice and held. Don't let the hips sink through. Beautiful, beautiful holds. Just long breaths.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
And coming up for your high plank.
3, 2.
Your side plank, I'm sorry.
Exercise 2.
And you're in the side. Now, if you're doing the knee version, have your lower leg is bent and your top leg is extended down. I'll just show you that briefly. And that definitely just applies a little less strain on your shoulder girdle and a little less strain on your hip flexors as well. I mean on your
3,
external obliques
1.
as well.
Exercise 3.
Nice long holds here. The spine is long. The neck is elongated. Try to have your neck in a line with the rest of your spine. Heels are reaching away. Don't over clench your top leg. Draw your shoulder girdle. Your shoulder blade should go down on your supporting arm.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Knees up, crunch.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 4.
And shoulders coming right off the mat here. No exaggerated lumbar curve. Either direction. It's pretty close to flat. You might be able to get a little Hot Wheels car to drive underneath when your head is back down on the ground. But I'm not convinced. If you need a break here, just put your feet down and pause.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
All right. Let's bring it around. Last round. Let's do this.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 1.
So again, a good plank here. Be strong. Your spine is long. Make your neck feel long, so your shoulders are kind of pulling away from your ears. Don't allow your hips to sink. Good full breaths. Keep your chin tucked.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Coming up into
2, 1.
side plank.
Exercise 2.
And long spine here. Don't let your hips sink down. Keep it up nice and high. Good breaths.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
And opposite side, getting set up. Here we go.
3.
2 exercises left. We got this.
Exercise 3.
Just breathing. Your hip is up. Feeling this in my shoulder a little bit here. The supporting muscles are feeling a little trembly. But my core is feeling good because I'm Corey Blasterson. Keep breathing.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
And last set. Knees up. Crunches. Not using momentum.
2.
Good, solid,
Exercise 4.
smooth movements. Lifting the shoulders, head, and neck off the mat in a controlled movement. Really control it all the way up and all the way down. All the way up, all the way down.
3, 2, 1.
All right, flipping over onto our bellies, elbows down, and hips against the floor. Walk your elbows out just a little further than under your shoulders, and now pull them toward your hips. And if you can, let a little more of your belly just touch onto the floor. Depending on your morning, more of your belly may get there. And just hugging that in. And let's come up to tabletop. We're going to press back. Puppy dog pose. Allow your head to go down. Come up to tabletop. Walk your hands out 2 mini steps and allow your hips to sink through. Come back up to tabletop. Walk your hands underneath. Puppy dog pose. Up to tabletop. Walk your hands out 2 mini steps and allow your hips to sink through. Open your chest. Lift your chin. Look outward. Breathe fully. Press into first your left hip. Just sink over a little bit leftward. And then sink over a little bit rightward. Come back into tabletop. Bring one knee forward. And reach the other knee back. We're in kind of a kneeling, I don't know, bent knee lunge. What would you call this? Lift your chest. And creep that foot back further on the mat, the back foot. Try to get it away from you. It's trying to get away from your hip. Keep reaching it into the backward space. Come up, match knees. Opposite knee back. creep that toe, try to get it off the mat or to the opposite wall. Just rock a little bit, get into that hip. All right, beautiful. Well, a little bit of a core workout, more for some of you and less for others. If you found it really super easy, then do it again a couple times. If you found it challenging, then see if you can get it more fully through the next time. You've moved early. I hope you remember to move often. We'll see you back tomorrow for Throwdown Thursday, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.